What's good, everybody? Welcome to my 500 subscribers Q&A. Thank you guys again so much for 500 subscribers. It's still insane to me every day. We're already at like 560 now, so thank you so much for the support. It's amazing. If you guys did watch my ASMR Q&A on Monday, I appreciate it and thank you. And I'm just gonna kind of reiterate what I said there. So basically, I decided to do only the ASMR questions you guys asked in the ASMR Q&A, and this is going to be all the non-ASMR related questions. And I did that because even though ASMR was more favored for the style of video for this, I do have people that want both, so I want to make something for both of you guys. And also I feel like I can answer these a little bit more, like, with more personality, I guess, I guess you can say, for the normal Q&A, because I don't have to whisper or anything like that. So I've got a huge list of your guys' questions that I printed actually because I'm filming this on my phone, so I can't use my phone for that right now. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I will say I'll link in the description below the ASMR Q&A, so if you guys do want to see those questions, you can watch that. But this is gonna be every other question that was asked to me by all of you. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So the first 7 questions actually here we've got from Bubbster. Shout out Bubbster. He's been in like every live stream of mine every week, so thank you. I appreciate that. His first question is, how did you come up with WarriorNayr, which of course is my channel name. It is also my gamer tag on pretty much everything I use for gaming. I came up with WarriorNayr literally when I was like probably 10 years old, like when I first started gaming. And I very specifically remember that exactly happening. Is basically what was happening is I was trying to come up with a gamer tag for my PlayStation account because my dad was finally like, you're old enough to have your own account basically on our PlayStation, which was so exciting. And I remember that even as a kid, I could feel the weight of the pressure of the situation. Like I was like, my dad's his is couch seal. That's always been his, and he was like, it's funny because he's like a seal, like a Navy SEAL that sits on the couch, like because he always played Call of Duty. Um, and I was like, I need something good like that, like that's gonna last like my whole life. And I will say mine is not as clever as his, but mine is just warrior, and then if you see, it's my name backwards. That's the trick. It's nothing crazy. But yeah, it's just warrior and then my name backwards. I don't know why I really liked the word warrior back then. Um, but it stuck. I mean, I use it on everything. So shout out to myself as a 10-year-old for thinking of that. Because it's even my channel name now. So yeah, I don't know. It means a lot to me, my gamer tag, because I came up with it and I have that specific memory. I remember sitting at the counter on the computer, like all I had to do was say the username and then we would have my account made. So yeah, that's how I came up with WarriorNayr. Second question from Bubbster is, what are your top 3 released Juice WRLD songs? That's a really good question. My number 1 has always been Armed and Dangerous. I love Armed and Dangerous by Juice WRLD. Number 2 and 3 released. So also, just so you guys know, I don't really listen to unreleased Juice WRLD. Not that that's what you were saying here necessarily, but yeah, I don't really listen to unreleased. And not because I'm not a Juice WRLD fan, but it's just a pain to me to find unreleased stuff on like SoundCloud and whatever, rather than have it all in my Spotify playlist. And on top of that, if you listen to unreleased stuff, I feel like it's just gonna mean they're not gonna ever release it officially, which, as we see, is kind of what has happened. I mean, they're not really releasing stuff anymore for him. But the next 2, it's honestly so hard to pick. I just know Armed and Dangerous, but I'll pick a couple that kind of first come to mind, I guess. So I would probably say, let's put Conversations as second from his first posthumous album, from Legends Never Die. And then we'll put Robbery in third. I love Robbery. And Lucid Dreams is great, but it's never been like one of my favorites, which is, I don't know why it did like so much better than all his other songs with the general populace, but and it's a great song. It's just I like a lot of other songs he has better than that. But yeah, all right. What are your favorite music artists besides Juice WRLD? My top three, like my three goats for a while, were always Juice WRLD, Trippie Redd, and The Kid Laroi. The Kid Laroi, I don't love his newest album as much. He's kind of very much straight away from like the rap scene, or like the melodic rap scene, I guess. Um, so he's still very talented and I like him, but I would say I like a lot of artists in that category though. So I do like some Travis Scott. I like some Jack Harlow. Who else? I need to. I honestly need to be pulling up my Spotify playlist. That would be helpful. Right now, I really like the kid Season. He's this like upcoming. Where is he from? I think he's from Ohio or something like that. Or maybe not. I think he's from like some state that is very much like nobody's from there, but or at least nobody in like the music scene really. But his name is the Kid Season, SZN for Season, and he's been really good. I've been enjoying him a lot. Also, Tate McRae. Guys, Tate McRae is so good. I like Sabrina Carpenter too, but Tate McRae is like, yeah, absolutely love her music. Anyways, let's move on to the next question. The next one from Bubbster is, what made you start collecting coins? So I technically have had coins, like a coin collection for most of my life. It was not very big, but I've had like my 50 state quarters like on the big poster board, which I don't know which video I showed you guys that in, but it's in one of my videos, like my showcase videos. It might be in my it's either in like my random assorted albums video or my everything you haven't seen of my coin collection video, because it was towards the end of showing you guys everything. But I've had that for like my whole life since I was also probably like 8 or 10 years old. And then I've also had just like a random like collection of some foreign coins that like my parents or like my grandparents, whenever they would travel, they would always give me some. So I always found them interesting even as a kid. Like I really found foreign coins interesting as a kid. And I still do, but like those were like my favorite thing when I was a kid collecting them. So I have those from when I was young. And then what really made me start collecting them like as an adult, honestly, my friend that I live stream with, Camden, he kind of like started getting into it himself like maybe 4 years ago or 5 years ago. It's kind of a while ago at this point. And he was like asking me questions about it, or like telling me stuff about it, and like, look at this, it's so cool, did you know they made these coins whenever or whatever. So, and then I had already kind of thought they were interesting since I was young, so I just ended up getting really into it with him, and then I kind of kept going with it, and he's kind of he's not fallen off the hobby, but like he doesn't really actively like buy any cool coins for his albums, or like he likes to find coins only, which is fair, but in coin collecting, there's a very, very limited amount of coins that you're going to be able to collect just by looking for them, because like 99% of coins are not going to be able to be found just by looking for them. But yeah, so he's kind of who got me to start getting back into it, and now I stay into it because as an adult now, like there's so much more I know about that I didn't even know about as a kid. And also I obviously work, so I could actually buy something I want if I want it. But yeah, that's how I started collecting coins. Next question from Bubbster. This is his 5th of 7 questions. Favorite COD Zombies character, or Call of Duty Zombies character? That is a good question. I feel like the cliche is obviously Richtofen, and I have to say it probably is Richtofen. But I also do like, let's see, the Requiem crew. I think Maya is really cool from the Requiem crew. That's the newest crew from like Black Ops 6 and 7, for those of you who don't know. And she's the girl character in that crew. Maya is awesome. And then also shout out the Victus crew from Black Ops 2. I think they're fun, and that's just because I love Buried. Like Buried is my most favorite zombies map like of all time. So I just like that crew in general. But if I had to pick like favorite character overall, definitely gotta say Richtofen, obviously, but shout out to Maya as well for the newer Requiem crew. I think she's cool. And then top 3 favorite COD Zombies maps. Oh man, that's hard because there's just so many now. I think Buried, we'll just put Buried at number 1. And that might be partially due to nostalgia, because I remember grinding that map with one of my friends, Noah, back in middle school. And maybe even early high school. We would just play it nonstop. Not even for the Easter egg. We didn't even know how to do the Easter egg. We would just try to survive, and that map's hard to survive in. But it's so unique. Like, you've got the Paralyzer. That's one of the coolest wonder weapons ever made, in my opinion. I don't know why they haven't brought that back in, like, Black Ops 6 or 7 zombies. That would have been crazy. They've got the Time Bomb, which is super unique as well. It's Black Ops 2, so it's got the Ray Gun Mark II. I don't think that was the map that introduced it to the game. Well, actually, it might be. I don't remember. But, you know, that was the first game with the Mark II, which was exciting. You've got the AN-94 in that game, which just came back to Black Ops 7, actually, so that's really cool as well. Yeah, just, I don't know, drawing the chalk weapons on the spots you want, like the trample steam, and it's just such a unique map. Like, sorry, that was kind of a tangent, but we'll put Buried at number 1. Next to, oh yeah, Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead is going to be my number 2, I think. That map, it's also probably very heavily, like, highly rated due to nostalgia, but I just remember that map being so much fun when it first came out, playing with my friends. Like, the zip line was so, like, that was so sick. Back then, they had never done something like that. George, he's literally like a real life director or something, and then he's turned into a zombie in the game, and he like hunts you down the whole time. And it's just super cool. Yeah, definitely Call of the Dead in second place. That's also like the first map with a true Easter egg, and I never actually did it until very recently. Like last year, me and my friend Camden, we completed it, which was really cool. Also, you've got the scavenger in that map, super iconic, cool weapon that people forget about, honestly. And you've got the human gun. It's the WRLD, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just a really cool map. Third place for favorite COD zombies. I feel like we gotta do a newer one, because actually no, I can't even. I gotta put Origins. Yeah, as much as I love the newer maps, it's just, I can't, bro. There's too many good older maps. Like, yeah, I gotta put Origins as third. Because that's like the first big Easter egg I ever completed. And because I grew up playing zombies from Black Ops 1, where like it was just round survival. That was the whole point. So like, I didn't even know there were Easter eggs for a while when they were out in maps, because I was just so young that I didn't look it up, and I just didn't know. Like, I just was still thinking they were all for round survival. So it's actually funny, because I hated Origins at first, because I was like, this map sucks. Like, the mud, and you're slow, the robot feet stomping on you. But after doing the Easter egg, I gotta put it top 3. I'm gonna say Buried number 1, Call of the Dead second, and Origins in third, for sure. And then last question from Bubbster, what's your favorite Pokemon/Pokemon game? Favorite Pokemon, there's a few answers to that question. So my favorite starter Pokemon is definitely Totodile, and that's because of Feraligatr. I think Feraligatr is like one of the most unique and coolest third evolutions for a starter Pokemon. And then my favorite legendary, I know I'm not giving you like one favorite, but I can't. I have to give you the categories because there's too many cool Pokemon. My favorite legendaries in number 1 is probably, that's tough. Actually, probably like, I'll just give you top 3. Lugia, Rayquaza, and what is the other one that I always put up there? I'm blanking. Lugia, Rayquaza, and there's one more that I would put in top 3 that I can't remember right now. I'll come back to that. Favorite Pokemon game, definitely Soul Silver, which you could probably tell by my answer with Lugia. Oh yeah, Palkia, that's the other one. Lugia, Rayquaza, and Palkia are top 3 legendaries. I don't even know if I have a favorite, like, just normal Pokemon, because That'd be tough. I would have to look at, give me 1 second. All right, I had to look at like some pictures of Pokemon because I can't just visualize all of them in my head. But I would say some of my favorites I remember from growing up were always Ponyta and Girafarig. I know Girafarig is kind of honestly a useless Pokemon, at least from my memory. I feel like he always sucked in the games, but I just thought he was very unique and cool looking. Also, I love Aggron. Aggron is super sick. So yeah, those are like my favorite Pokemon. Favorite Pokemon game, Soul Silver. My first Pokemon game was actually Pokemon Pearl, and me and my sister, found it on the ground while we were at a local mall, while we were literally that young, that Pokemon Pearl was like the newest game. Which is crazy that that's what really got us into Pokemon. But, yeah. Also, I'm going to be playing through Pokemon Y soon, because I just got a 3DS, and I got the World Edition of Pokemon Y, so it's brand new. And I've literally never played it through any of those 3DS Pokemon games. I've never even seen anything about it. All I know is like what the legendaries are. So I'm actually super excited for that. We'll see how that one is. But yeah, that's the last question from Bubbster. So thank you so much, Bubbster, for your questions. I really appreciate it. Sorry, there's a fly. I really appreciate the questions and your support on my channel and in the live streams and everything. Thank you so much. Next question is from Intimate Flow, and I answered this question in my ASMR Q&A, but I'm going to answer it here because it can kind of like relate here. So it's, who and what are the inspirations for the type of content that you make? So my first inspiration is my sister Rachel, just because she's the one who really pushed me to start making videos, which was not that long ago, like at the start of this year / end of last year. She was the one who told me I should post about my collections more, which is how I started a lot. But yeah, so shout out to her for getting me to start making videos, because this has been a lot of fun, and I've gained a lot more subscribers honestly than I thought it would, like way more than I thought it would. So that's really awesome that she suggested that to me. Inspirations for the type of content I make, I already said the ASMR ones, but for my coin stuff, I'll just say that probably one of the most, I do watch a coin like collector YouTuber. His name's Silver Picker, and he's one of the bigger ones, I guess you could say, out there. And so I would say he's more like an inspiration for my coin related content. And then for like gaming and stuff, that's tough. I watch a lot of like gaming channels, or I have watched a lot of gaming channels. So I can't say there's necessarily a specific inspiration for that, just because I've been watching so many of them for so long. But yeah, I would say Silver Picker for the coin related content. But then also I would say most of my inspiration is just from my sister Rachel telling me to do this stuff, and seeing that she's been able to build a following as well, and that's really hard to do on YouTube. So yeah, that would be my main inspiration for this. So thank you, Intimate Flow, for that question, and for commenting on the ASMR videos. I see you all the time, so thank you so much. Next up is LebronIsTheGoat. That's our next subscriber with two questions. His first question is, how old are you? I am 26, born in 1999, so yeah, I know, I am technically a 90s kid. Sound really old. But if I live to the year 2100, so basically if I live to be 101, I will have lived in 3 centuries, if you think about it. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll see. It would be cool. Question number 2 from LebronIsTheGoat is, what is currently your favorite game to play? Currently Black Ops 7 Zombies, for sure. I've just been back on that very heavily lately. Like that, I'm gonna probably play some more of that after I finish this and edit this video and everything. But yeah, definitely Black Ops 7 Zombies, and I'll say Subnautica 2, because Subnautica 2 just came out, and me and my sister have been doing our playthrough of that as well, which I am posting videos on that. And there was supposed to be part 2 coming out today, the same day as this video is, but I'm replacing it by this one because we hit 500 subscribers, so I want to get this one out. But part 2 will probably be next Wednesday, and we'll be back on that normal, not super normal schedule, but because I do still have another Riftbound video after that, before part 3. But yeah, they're gonna be like my Wednesday uploads when I don't have something else going on, basically. So thank you so much, LebronIsTheGoat, for your 2 questions. I think he asked some ASMR questions as well. So again, if you want to click below to see the rest of the questions in the ASMR Q&A, go ahead and do that. But we're gonna move on to Toasterjen. Toasterjen has 6 questions for us. Your first question is, do you like to read? If so, what books would you recommend? So I actually have not read a book in a long time, and that's mainly due to my gaming hobby. I use most of my free time instead of for books for gaming. I don't even watch much like TV shows or anything. I do like movies, but yeah, I mostly game. But I have read books a lot back in like middle school and early high school and stuff like that. And I used to love all the bigger name books, I guess. Like I started with Harry Potter. I read through all of the Percy Jackson books, like the Greek god ones and the Roman god ones. They had a different name for each series. I can't remember. I read through the Hunger Games books, and I read through the Maze Runner books, including the prequel for the Maze Runner, which I think that one's the best one. I can't even remember what it's called. Okay, I just looked it up. The prequel book for the Maze Runner series is called The Kill Order. I think that is literally the best book potentially in the whole series, because it's a slow start because you have new characters, you know, it's not your characters you were following for the 3, like the trilogy of the Maze Runner series. But if you just allow yourself to get into it, it's like the origin of the virus that causes all this crazy stuff to happen in the Maze Runner series. So I think that's really, really cool. I thought that book was amazing. So I would highly recommend, I think my favorite book series was the Maze Runner series. So I would really recommend that book series, and and make sure to read the prequel after you read the first 3. Because most people don't read that, and I think it might be honestly the best one in the series. On top of that, the Hunger Games series is amazing. I think it's even better than the movies were because there was just so many cool details that they weren't able to fit into the movies. So, and then of course Harry Potter's and Percy Jackson are good, but I just feel like the Maze Runner, oh my gosh, the Maze Runner books were like so good. Like I remember I was so obsessed with the universe when I was reading them. And then of course the movies were so awful. Like those were probably the worst book to movie adaptations I've ever seen in my entire life. Like Harry Potter looks amazing compared to that. And Harry Potter's not bad, but it's not, you know, we all know if you read the books, it's not that perfect. But yeah, the Maze Runner series, specifically The Kill Order, for sure, is my recommendation. Best and worst game ever played. Oof, that's a tough one. Best game ever played? I don't know if I can choose one. I don't want to give it to I don't think I want to give it to a Call of Duty. You know what? We'll give it to Rocket League. We'll give it to Rocket League because I spent the most amount of my life playing that game of all video games. Like, I played that game for literally 8 years straight, basically. Like, I even stopped playing Call of Duty for like 6 years because of Rocket League. When Rocket League came out in 2015, I didn't play another Call of Duty game, like, or buy one and like play it actually heavily until Black Ops Cold War, which was one that my friend bought me, but even then I didn't play that one a ton. I didn't really play a ton again until probably like 2022, I think, when the new Modern Warfare 2 came out. I think it was that one that year. So yeah, I was like hooked on only Rocket League for like 7 or 8 years. So we'll give that to Rocket League. Worst game I've ever played? I actually do know what is the worst game I've ever played. It's called Unturned. I don't know if you guys know what Unturned is. It actually is kind of popular to some people. It's kind of like a Roblox looking game, and it's a PC game. I played this game once on my first PC that I built, which was very, very powerful for the time when I had built. It's even decently powerful now. And Unturned's just this, like, it's free, and it's like a Roblox-esque game. I launched it, and it took forever to launch. My game kept crashing. It kept like destroying my PC, and I played with my friends for like 10 minutes. Was like all I could get out before it crashed again, and I was like, bro, this game is terrible. So I'm gonna say Unturned is the worst game I've ever played because I hardly could even play it. So yeah, we'll give it to Unturned. Third question from Toasterjen is, what type of job do you have? My real life big boy job. It's not super exciting, but it's basically like logistics, like a logistics job, and I do like data entry for a distribution company. So like when we get shipments of product that we carry and stuff, I enter that into our system so it matches what we have physically in our warehouse, and like that helps us keep track of where everything is and what loads they came in on, what loads they're going out on, stuff like that. So like data entry, I help track down inventory if we need to, and logistics, yeah, customer service, it's a desk job. Nothing exciting, super exciting, but thank you for the question though. That was a good question. What is my favorite food? So, oh man, I actually have celiac, for those of you who don't know, so I can't eat gluten, but I got celiac like 4 years ago, or 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago. So I was able to eat whatever I want for most of my life. So my favorite foods were always like the Olive Garden breadsticks. Oh my god, those are so good. I can't eat them anymore, but like I have to answer this like pre-celiac and after because it's different. Then I would also say like sushi. Sushi is kind of hard for me to eat now just because sushi places have a lot of cross contact in their restaurants, which makes it dangerous for me. But I do love sushi. And I used to love Thai food from this place by us that I can't really eat anymore either. So I would say my favorite food currently, I'll say sushi or like poke. I can get poke from a place by me because it's a lot less sketchy since it's kind of like set up like a Chipotle where like all the ingredients are separated from each other and I can like avoid stuff more easily. So I would say like sushi or poke. And I do love some Chipotle too, as like post celiac I can eat there all the time, so that's good too. TV show recommendations. So I know I said I don't watch a lot of TV shows earlier, but I do have some favorites. I usually watch TV shows for like comedy stuff more than I do for like anything else. But TV show recommendations I would say are, for one, The Office, of course. I think The Office is amazing. Any of those types of shows. So The Office, Parks and Rec, or Parks and Recreation, and Superstore. Most people won't watch Superstore. They'll watch, or haven't watched Superstore. They've watched the other two, but Superstore is really funny. And then also The Paper is like their new Office show that just came out. That's funny. I also love SpongeBob, of course. Rick and Morty is hilarious. And then let me see some like more slightly serious ones. Let's see. I would say I loved Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was amazing. I actually watched it all the way through, which is surprising because it's a long show. And I don't always watch longer shows like that all the way through usually. But yeah, I would say those are probably my top recommendations. Or Black Mirror if you like. I think it's not horror, but there's some like horror-esque episodes, so just be cautious if that's something you don't like. But yeah, Black Mirror, Game of Thrones, The Office, Parks and Rec, and Superstore, and The Paper are all really good shows in my opinion. Okay. Next up, we've got best and worst movies watched. This is Toasterjen's last question. I think my favorite movies currently are the Dune movies, like with Timothée Chalamet. Those movies are so good, and it's so refreshing because I used to be like a big MCU fan, which I still am, but I don't know, the MCU's struggling nowadays lately. It's just not as good. So I think the Dune movies are my favorite right now for sure, especially the second one, and I can't wait for the third one to come out soon. And worst movies, I really did not like Captain Marvel. I'm sorry to any of you who liked Captain Marvel, but it was just boring. Like, to me, it was just so boring. Like, and I feel like the character or the actress, maybe, I don't know who it is, if it's like the writing or the actress herself, is just boring. Like, she has no personality to her. Like, she's just like super stone cold all the time. Doesn't, yeah, I don't know. I would say Captain Marvel's probably one of my least favorite movies that I can think of, like, right off the bat. But yeah, there's definitely got to be worse movies than that I've seen, though, for sure. Like, at least production wise and stuff like that. But that's the one that comes to mind when I think of worst movies. So yeah, thank you, Toasterjen, for all of your questions. And we're gonna move on to Omega the Boss's questions. He's got two. First one, do you like house music? At a party, yeah, hell yeah, I would like some house music. I don't really listen to house music like myself in my free time, but I know, like, when we would go to like someone's house for a party or stuff like that, in college especially, definitely like some house music. It's always a good vibe. And second question from Omega the Boss, what's your opinion on the paracord knife? That's a knife in CS Go, or Counter-Strike, for those of you who don't know. My opinion on the paracord knife, I've almost bought a paracord knife a couple of times because they're cheaper, obviously, because a lot of people don't like them, but I don't think it's that bad. I think that the paracords with the DD-Pat don't look very good. Like, I think I would rather have a DD-Pat skin on another knife that has like a bigger blade or something. But I don't particularly hate the paracord knife. I wouldn't mind having like a nicer design on a paracord knife for sure. But yeah, thank you so much for your two questions, Omega the Boss. I really appreciate it. Next up, we've got two questions from Phoenix, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's spelled Feanys, and I wasn't sure if I was saying it right in the ASMR one either, but I think it's Phoenix. So, first question, what are your favorite foods, sports, and video games? Favorite foods, I kind of already answered it, but I'll just reiterate. Basically, I would say like sushi, but okay, actually this isn't like my top favorite food, so I can go a little more in depth. Sushi, I love pizza. I have to have gluten-free pizza, obviously, now. I love Chipotle. What else? And I did love bread, like any bread. So like the Olive Garden breadsticks were amazing. Like the Texas Roadhouse rolls, the biscuits from Red Lobster. Yeah, all that stuff. Really, really good. And then favorite sports. My favorite sport to watch is just football, for sure, but specifically college football. I love watching college football. I root for the USF Bulls because that's where I went to college. I'll also root for the Florida Gators because that's where my parents and one of my sisters went to college. Yeah, college football is just so much more exciting than the NFL to me. But then after that, I would say I love hockey next. Hockey is super fun to watch. Super exciting, fast-paced. They like beat each other up sometimes. Like, it's crazy. So definitely college football and then hockey are my two favorites. And then favorite video games. I've always liked Call of Duty and Call of Duty Zombies. Subnautica, that whole series, I've played all of them. Also one of my favorite games. Rocket League, one of my favorite games. CS, that's more recently in my life, surprisingly. I didn't play CSGO, really. I have only played CS2. I have played CSGO because I had it with friends a couple times, but mostly CS2. Favorite video games. There's got to be a couple more that I can think of. Oh yeah, all the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I love all the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Like, I 100%ed Secret of the Mimic and what's it called? Why am I forgetting? The Pizzaplex. Security breach. I don't know why I was forgetting what that was. Yeah. So also, actually, I love the fan game series for Five Nights at Freddy's, Pop Goes. I 100%ed Pop Goes Arcade on Steam. I love My Pop Goes as well. It's a fun like mini game, and I'm super excited for Pop Goes Evergreen to come out. Hopefully within the next year or two. It takes a long time for those developers, but they are like kind of doing it single-handedly with low funding, so it makes sense. But yeah, those are like all of my favorite video games for sure. Next question and last question from Phoenix is, do you have any pets? I personally don't have any pets technically, but I live with my parents at the moment, and my parents have a German Shepherd. Her name is Nala. Yeah, she's really cute. She's 4 years old, and she's like a classic German Shepherd coat, like with the black, and you've got like the tan on the chest and like by the legs and stuff. She's very smart, like very smart, probably the smartest dog we've ever had. And yeah, so that is like my pet, I guess, right now, because that's I live with Nala and my parents right now. So thank you for your questions, Venus. We're gonna move on to the last two people who have one question each. First up, we've got Vex, spelled Vaex. Vex. His first question is, what's your biggest goal you currently want to achieve? That's a deep question. The biggest goal I currently want to achieve, generally, I wanted to make some really big changes to my life this year. Because I'm not super happy with my living situation, being 26 years old, living with my parents. I'm not very happy with my working condition, like not condition, my work, my job. So the biggest goal that I currently have to achieve is, it's kind of hard to just put one, but I want to make big changes for myself. Like, I want to move out of state as well, because I live in Florida, and it's pretty much, I can't move out because everything is just going up in price so fast. People are moving to Florida like crazy, and it's just driving up prices like crazy right now. So I do want to move out of state. I want to get another job that can pay me more. But also I do want to grow my channel, and I think we've been doing really well so far with that. But that's another big goal, is just to grow my channel as much as I can and keep posting. So just basically, I want to make big changes this year. I want to move. I want a new, better paying job, one that also hopefully I'm happier at, so yeah, that's probably my biggest goal right now, for sure. But yeah, thank you for your question, Vex. That's actually a really good question, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate your support, of course. Last question is funny. It's much less serious, but it's from RyCDD. It's RYCDD. That's the name. Are you Irish? Yes, I'm partially Irish. That's so random to ask. I don't know if you actually thought that because of seeing me, because I don't think I look Irish, but I am probably a quarter Irish. I'm my dad's side is Irish and German mostly, and then my mom's side is Spanish, Spain Spanish. So yeah, yes I am. That's gonna do it for all the questions. As you guys can see, I'll show you there's the camera on that side. We went through all of your questions, and yeah, thank you guys again so much for asking these questions, so that I can make this video for you guys. Obviously, I want to make whatever you guys want to see, and this was what was most voted for of my ideas for 500 subscribers. So thank you guys for the suggestions and the questions, and thank you for being here. I love each and every one of you, and I really do appreciate your support a lot. as always, I say this all the time, but you guys make my week more enjoyable, just being able to talk to you guys. Looking forward to the Saturday streams, all that good stuff. So yeah, once again, like I said at the start of the video, if you want to watch the ASMR Q&A to get the answers to my ASMR related questions, you can click that in the link in the description below. I will link it down there for you guys. And I hope you still enjoyed this Q&A, those of you who wanted it to be ASMR, even though this one is not ASMR. But thank you all so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for being here. We're already over halfway to 600 subscribers, so that's also crazy. And I guess maybe we can hit 1,000 this year. I thought that was crazy. Like when I was around like 200 subscribers or so, I had people saying 1,000 by the end of the year, and I was like, yeah, I appreciate it, but yeah, there's no way. But I mean, we're over halfway there before the halfway point of the year, so it's definitely possible. So yeah, thank you guys so much again. I say thank you like a million times at the end of these, but I do, it's because I mean it, and I can't say it enough. So yeah, but I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.